College football season is upon us. It is time to make our season predictions.
You're talking ball with the SEC squad. From Alabama to Tennessee, from Georgia to Oklahoma, from Auburn to Texas, it's the local experts of the Locked On Podcast Network bringing you scoops, breakdowns, and the most comprehensive preview of the upcoming SEC weekend. It's the SEC squad, and we have a seat for you. Hurt feelings and thin skin are prohibited. Squad up, you're part of the SEC squad.
And what's up, everybody? Welcome to the SEC squad. Sit back, grab your favorite beverage, and join us as we get you ready for another week talking all things SEC. And the season is almost here. We're going to preview the SEC season today. And today's episode is brought to you by KALSHI. For a limited time, download the KALSHI app and use our code LOCKEDON to get $10 when you trade $10. Let's welcome in our panel. We've got a loaded cast of characters today. We've got Stephen Willis from Locked On Ole Miss, John Miller, Locked On Mizzou, Clint Chamblin, Locked On Bulldogs. We got Jimmy Stein, Locked On Bama, Brandon Olson, Locked On Gators, Eric Kane, Locked On Vols, Corey Burton, Locked On Vandy, and hang out backstage is Jay Smith from Locked On Sooners. We'll bring him in as we rotate in our folks. We can only put 8 people on the screen at once. But guys, let's dive into it. Segment 1, we're asking which 2 teams are going to play for the conference championship this season. So we'll go around the horn, make your case for the 2 teams you picked, and then we'll kind of tally up the votes at the end. But we'll go around the horn. Stephen, start with you.
You know, normally I say things off the wall and everything, but I imagine everybody's going to go with Georgia and Texas because they're first in the AP. I think this is the year, just as a homer, for me to be a homer. You got a team that has a Heisman Trophy candidate. You have a team with a Doak Walker candidate. Heck, you have the best kicker in college football potentially on your roster. You were 19 seconds away from the national championship game a year ago. Why not go all in? And on the other side, I really respect Brent Venables. Give me Ole Miss and Oklahoma in that SEC championship game.
I'm going to go slightly different here. I think it's Oklahoma instead of Texas. I'm going to stick with Georgia because I think they're the safest pick in the conference. I think that Oklahoma has a real path there. In the Red River Shootout, you beat Texas. Now all of a sudden you have that inside track. I just think the Oklahoma running game, offensive line, can be much better this season.
Yeah, it's going to be Georgia and Alabama, and Jimmy's going to tell you why the last time Alabama was ranked outside the top 10 in AP poll, what happened that year. Alabama is very good. They need a quarterback to play. Kalen DeBoer knows how to coach that position. The trenches and defensive back is going to carry them, Alabama and Georgia.
Well, I'm going to go with Alabama. Not Alabama. I'm going to go with Texas and Georgia in this game. I just think, again, the top 2 teams, I think the cream will rise to the top. Georgia is loaded up on defense. The crossover that I did with Clint earlier this summer got me kind of fired up about the Georgia Bulldogs. I think they're going to make it. I think they're ultimately going to beat the Texas Longhorns in the SEC Championship.
I will stay on brand. Give me Georgia and Texas. Sarkisian, I mean, if it's not this year, man, it's never going to be this year. I mean, there's so much talent there. Easily, I won't say easily, but the most talented team in the conference, and I am believing in Texas this year. Maybe I'm drinking that Kool-Aid. Georgia, experience talks. Georgia's got the most underrated quarterback in the Southeastern Conference, in my opinion. He gets no respect amongst all the other ones, and he's arguably the best quarterback in the conference. And, I mean, they're good at other positions as well. But give me Georgia, give me Texas.
Well, Stephen Willis started by being a homer, and so I think it's only fair that I continue. And I'm kidding. It's going to be Georgia and Texas. It's going to be Georgia and Texas. I will admit that I was very close to putting Georgia, Oklahoma here, but I think Texas has a ton of talent. I think that Georgia, I hate how many players they have coming back, and I hate how good I feel about them this year. I'm going to be honest about it. Really hated, but
it's like a
I think that
blanket.
those are two. I think those are the 2 best teams in the SEC this year.
Yeah, I think it's Georgia and Texas. I think they're the 2 best teams. I think Texas has the highest ceiling. I think Georgia has the lowest floor. They're the 2 best teams, but I'm also believing that the schedule is going to really dictate so much of this. Who plays who on the road? There's 9 games. I think that dictates as much as anything, but in the end, I think Texas has the highest ceiling. Georgia's the most consistent team. I like Georgia, Texas at the end.
Jay, you're right.
I got tossed in here. Yeah, I'm going Georgia, Oklahoma this year. Just as everybody kind of mentioned, Georgia, they're the ones that's been there consistently. I'm not going to take them out of there until they show me that they're not going to make it there, period. Plus, Gunnar Stockton is one of the more disrespected quarterbacks out there. I get the Texas love. The coaches just dropped their preseason all-conference, and they had 11 players from Georgia, 11 from Texas. Oklahoma had 10 right behind them. And if we can finally get over this hump and beat Texas, I think we supplant them and we can find a track to get there. I think I'm going to pick Georgia and Oklahoma. So I'm going to pull the homer tag as well.
Yeah, tallying the vote, guys, I think we've got about eight votes for Georgia, 6 for Texas, 3 for Oklahoma, 1 for Bama, 1 for Ole Miss. So this reflects a lot of what we have with the SEC media poll and SEC media days. Most people, it's pretty overwhelming, Georgia and Texas. But I mean, give me for those of you who picked Georgia, Texas, give me a name of a team. If I said you got to take one out, who would you put in?
I'd put Oklahoma in.
Yeah,
I'd take
put
Texas
Oklahoma.
out, put Oklahoma in.
Yeah, Oklahoma for me. That was my first team out.
I'll throw in LSU.
For me, if I had to take Georgia out and keep Oklahoma in there, I would have thrown Ole Miss in there as well.
I want to take Texas A&M, but I'm gonna go Ole Miss.
I'll throw LSU in there for this reason. I really feel LSU has a better starting 22 than what Lane Kiffin had at Ole Miss. I feel like he's got a better lineup, and based on what he was doing at Ole Miss, and now he's got even a better team. Sam Leavitt also coming in, that's different than what Austin Simmons was coming in, Jackson Dart coming in. I mean, I feel like, I don't know that anyone's underestimating Lane Kiffin or not giving him enough thought, but the fact of the matter, I think this LSU starting 22 is better than the Ole Miss 22 he had in Oxford.
Early on in the season, LSU is going to surprise some people, put up some good things. The war of attrition over the long haul, because I think you're right, depth is a huge problem at LSU. You start getting down in the second and third, it's a bad situation. I think later on in the season, they're going to drop one against 2 maybe that they shouldn't. Early on, they're going to ruin somebody's season.
Yeah, what the LSU take, like 41 transfers this offseason? I'm sure they've got their first string is going to be impressive. I do wonder about that depth, like everybody's saying there.
59 newcomers, I believe it's 44 transfers for LSU.
There you go. Thank you.
Oh, dang.
Yep.
Who would be the shocking team to make it? Like, if this team made it, you would just be absolutely floored that they're
Arkansas.
playing in Atlanta.
Vanderbilt.
Kane, I think you said that you wanted to put Texas A&M, that you considered putting them. I'd be floored if they made it.
Really?
I'm just not as bought in on them. I think replacing both your coordinators and stuff, I'm not a big fan.
I mean, I hear you. Like I get it, but I mean, they're a top 10 team. So, like, does that really qualify as being floored?
I don't think they should be.
Okay. And they were 11-0 last year. They were 1 win away from going to Atlanta
That's
last
true.
year.
They did
just
have a
lost
cake
to
schedule last year, though.
I think if Tennessee gets quarterback play, they could surprise. And if that happened, I would be floored. But I do think that potential is there.
So I listened to Heather Dinich on the Pat McAfee the other day. So, like, I mean, there's just, why even show up and play the games, right? I mean, she knows it all, right? So why even show up? So
I
appreciate it, Steven, but we probably just, call it quits now, right?
I like Steven's pick in the sense that the last time Tennessee had a freshman quarterback, they made the 12-team playoff. And this kid has a lot of talent. I don't rule out Tennessee by any means. I don't know that you see them often predicted to get that far, but I think Tennessee is certainly capable.
I think Faison Brandon, he's currently trending to win the job now. We'll see if this time next week Josh Heupel's named a starter. Typically, this is, this upcoming weekend's kind of when he names it a starter. Faison Brandon, I would say, is trending because he's had a better camp. He's made more plays, explosive plays in scrimmages. I mean, he's 6'4", 225. He looks like $1 million. He's walking in. He or George McIntyre walking into a good situation. Veteran offensive line, explosive at wide receiver. 1,000-yard rusher in the backfield, plus a lot of competition in that backfield. If the defense can take a big step, obviously, need a big step. Not going to be 2024's defense, obviously, but I mean, yeah, I think Tennessee, as long as you get a quarterback that manages the game well, makes a couple of plays, and does not turn the football over, and Josh Heupel's quarterbacks outside of Joey Aguilar do not turn the football over, yeah, I think Tennessee can certainly be exciting offensively.
Yeah, I think that's one team that would floor me is them and A&M, and then more so with Tennessee, it's the wow, your young players really stepped up, and your new defensive coordinator, Jim Knowles, really got them going very fast, like a lot earlier, a lot more ahead of schedule. If he did that, that's to me is the only way I see Tennessee getting there is if he's ahead of schedule, like you said, Eric. 2024, probably not, but if he can get really close to that, and you have a quarterback that just manages the game properly, you could probably sneak past some of these games that people are kind of betting Tennessee off on. And so they would, but A&M is definitely the one that would floor me if anybody, because losing both your coordinators, you promote it from within, someone that's never caught plays before.
Right.
Little concerned there. The only thing that can help you is Marcel Reed as a returner, but at the same time, do we trust Marcel Reed making all the choices? I don't know if I can do that yet.
No, A&M's big problem is Marcel Reed. He's going to give the ball to the other team quite a lot, and it's a huge problem. Tennessee, I like what they have going on, and Josh Heupel always goes quarterbacks, but the schedule is brutal for them. They play 4 teams that they'd likely take an L on. If they can get past 2 of those, yes, they got a chance. But A&M, last year I was high on A&M. I picked them to be in the playoff. This year, I think they missed the playoff in entirety.
Real quick, around the horn, John Miller, give us everybody give me your SEC champion winner. We did who would get to Atlanta, but John, run down the line. Give me your winner of the SEC championship.
I'll stick with Georgia.
Emotional hedging, Bama.
Corey?
Georgia.
Cater?
Hook 'em, baby. It's the year.
Okay. Steven?
Yeah, you don't even need to ask.
Ole Miss? All right.
Yeah, if you're going to go Homer, go Homer.
Okay. Jay?
I kind of agree with Steven on that. I was going to do the emotional hedging, but nah, give me Oklahoma.
Jimmy?
I'll go Texas.
Brandon, put yourself back in here for somebody.
It's Georgia, unfortunately.
Gordon, who you got?
That was satisfying.
I got Georgia.
Yeah, I mean, I want to pick Georgia, but 3 straight years of winning it.
Yeah, do it,
Somebody's got to break through. I think Texas. I'll ride with Arch and Sark. I think they get it done.
Do it, Gordy.
So just I hate to be the guy defending Georgia. I just got to ask real quick. So Georgia has shown you they can win consistently big games. Texas has shown you they can't, but like this is the year where it's like, yeah, they finally get it done. Like
I thought the Generals were due.
That's the logic we're tracking.
Well, you said Texas can't win big games. What have they done against their 2 biggest rivals, A&M and Oklahoma? They've taken care of them. So,
what have they done in the college football playoff?
well,
That's
yeah.
the
What's everybody done in the playoff? Everybody's lost. Georgia's lost. Last year.
Missouri beat Kansas. That was their biggest rival. They should be in the SEC championship and win by that logic. See?
Thank you.
There you go.
His argument was Texas can't win the big game. They've won the big game against
I wanted to
A&M.
take a shot at Mizzou. I'm sorry.
All right. Well,
I
when
thought
we
that was a shot at Kansas. Screw you, Clint.
when we return, guys, we talked about who's getting to Atlanta. Who's making the playoff? It ain't about getting to Atlanta. Who cares? SEC title? Who cares about that? We just want to make the playoff. We'll talk about that coming your way next. Hey, first, guys, before the season even kicks off, everybody's making predictions. Who wins the division? Who makes the playoffs? Who is lifting the trophy at season's end? On KALSHI, America's #1 prediction market platform, you can trade those predictions in a live market. I was looking for a team that might have some value. How about Auburn? Can Auburn win at least 8 games this season? Auburn currently trading at 42%, meaning a $100 trade pays out $239 if they reach 8 wins. On KALSHI, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position, trade the draft pick, the game, and more on KALSHI. Download the KALSHI app and use code LOCKEDON to get $10 when you trade $10. KALSHI, KALSHI. Trade on anything. Must be 18 years or older. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. KALSHI products are not available in all jurisdictions. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more info, see kalshi.com/regulatory. SEC squad roll along here, SEC preview edition. And gents, we gave our picks of teams to get to Atlanta and play for the SEC title, but how many teams have a legitimate chance at making the college football playoff? So we'll go around the horn. What was it? 5 teams from the SEC made it last year. John Miller, how many from the SEC make it this year?
Well, I believe I said 5 last year and was poo-pooed roundly in this particular forum. So honestly, I think I'm going to stick with 5 again, because even though that does seem like a lot, let's not forget the ACC and the Big 12. The rest of the guys were so terrible, we had to get a second, group of 5 team in there. So I think the SEC really has in a weird way has a better chance to get 5 this year, in sort of an obvious way, I suppose.
I think there will be 5. Somebody will sneak into that 5th spot, I do believe. The 4 I feel really good about, but I think with how the schedule is going to pan out and with the expansion, I think that somebody from the SEC will sneak into that. So I'm going to go 5 as well.
Yeah, until there's not 5, I think I'm predicting there's going to be 5. I think you'll have your 4 that I feel like will be there just about every year. And then that 5th team, like you guys have said, will sneak in. I'm not sure who that's going to be. Could be Tennessee. I think Ole Miss is going to be one of the 4, but it could be like a Tennessee. It might even be a surprise team, like a 10-2 Vanderbilt. Or no, I'm just kidding. But there's going to be 5 teams, I think, for sure, and we'll see who that 5th team is. That'll be kind of like the very wild card team that nobody's expecting coming from left field. So, yeah.
All right. Well, I'll be the contrarian on this. I think there's going to be 4 that get in. I think the SEC's 9-game schedule is going to bite them whenever the committee gets together and starts counting L's instead of taking in strength of schedule and what's going on. I think that Ole Miss, Oklahoma, Texas, and Georgia are the 4 teams that get in. But, yeah, I think 4 teams is the SEC limit this year.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as Steven. I think that the 9-game conference schedule going to make it a little bit tougher when you start looking at just the record. And so, yeah, I think I'm at 4 this year. I want it to be like the SEC 5. I can't do it. I got to go 4. It's just what I think is the most likely outcome here.
Yeah, I think with the path to get there is that we need, of all teams, Arkansas to pull off a W at Utah to make sure the Big 12 doesn't get 2 teams, to make sure 5 makes it. But I do expect help from the likes of Texas A&M against Arizona State and Missouri at Kansas. Those wins can help, but I think that Utah one that Arkansas is most likely going to get destroyed in. Auburn should beat Baylor too. That can help, because I think there will end up being 2 Big 12 teams if the SEC only gets 4. I'm pushing for 5 though. I think somehow we are able to get somebody to sneak in because those non-con games go in our direction.
I think it'll be 4. The first year there were 3. Last year there were 5. The average is 4. The difference was Notre Dame. Notre Dame in the first year, SEC only had 3. Notre Dame not in last year, opened up an additional spot. SEC had 5. This year Notre Dame likely in. So I'm going to go 4 SEC teams, and the 9-game SEC schedule will be the talk of college football through November, in terms of what is the committee going to do with an SEC team that has 1 more loss than they're normally used to dealing with, but is clearly good enough to be in the playoff. I think that's going to be the discussion in November.
Yeah, I agree with a couple of you guys. Jimmy, I just went. I think 9 games is going to get this league. It just is what it is, right? You're going to cannibalize one another because you're playing each other another week. I got Texas, Georgia, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, the 4 teams, Alabama on the outside looking in.
I'm kind of depressed after that argument. I think you guys are right, by the way, now that I think about it. But, geez, Greg Sankey, thanks a lot for that early Christmas present, bro.
Yeah, I mean, do your job and you wouldn't be in this situation right here. So
For real.
Listen,
He got bullied into it by the Big Ten, by
Yeah,
Big
he
Ten
did.
social media and the Kirk Signettis of the world. How dare all of you?
LSU, Clemson, Ole Miss, Louisville, Texas, Ohio State, Oklahoma, Michigan, unbelievably huge if there's any chance of getting 5.
Yeah, those are going to be the critical games. Even adding in Florida State losing 2 times to SEC squads, that would be great as well to really, solidify that with them playing Bama as well as Florida. That could help overall, but you got to own the non-con games. That's going to be the most critical thing. If we own the non-con games and just beat the crap out of each other in conference play, there'll be some leniency. You'll be like, well, they did destroy this ACC team and this Big 12 team, and they did very good against these Big 10 teams and Big 12. There'll be arguments made, but it's really those non-cons are going to be critical.
Yeah, don't worry about that, Jay. Florida's going to take care of business with Florida State.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Don't worry about that.
Bama as well. Bama, will you take care of business against Florida State? I mean,
oh boy.
Come on.
I know it's a terrifying situation. You got Kentucky the week before, so it makes it a little tough.
DeBoer's been pretty good at home, other than against you guys. The Oklahoma loss is the only DeBoer loss at home. Yeah, I do like Alabama over Florida State at home.
Good.
But why did the SEC agree to play 9 games and the additional Power 4 game? It feels like we're all running a marathon, and the SEC agreed to run it uphill.
Yeah, while Indiana is canceling all their future non-cons, like, oh, we just have to play 3 slappies and get in? Yeah, sure, let's do that.
They're running downhill.
But with the expansion out there, with legislation talk, with all of that, the committee is a political committee. I hate the committee. It's the stupidest thing in the world. The people on there have no business being in there, but it's a political appointed committee. And I think that's going to make sure that the SEC gets that fifth, because they're going to want to keep the SEC happy as we go into next year with so much uncertainty and so much changing in the landscape. Again, I don't like it. It should be on the field. It should be played. But again, that committee is full of people who don't know football, and their ADs as well, which is startlingly bad. I think there's going to be a little political pull.
I was going to ask, do you guys think this is the year a 9-3 team gets in? I almost feel like there is going to be a 9-3 SEC team, because
yes,
that 9th conference game, we're not going to have 5 teams at 10-2 or better, right?
No.
Right. No. Somebody's going to cannibalize somebody. That's where that left field's going to come in. That 9-3 team is kind of what I think is going to be the separator. And somebody, I forget who it was, said about the non-con games, you got to own the non-con games. That will help that 9-3 team get in.
Mm-hmm. Ole Miss, yes, it will.
All right. Well, we will leave it there. When we return, guys, we're going to ask each of you to make a bold prediction about your conference, about your team. That is coming your way next here on the Locked On SEC Squad Edition.
Grab the reins.
Love it.
Corey, we'll start with you.
Yeah. So bold prediction. For Vanderbilt, I think they're going to hit their ceiling. A lot of people are saying Vandy's going to go back to being that 3-9, 4-8 type team. I think they're going to hit their ceiling. They're going to win about 8 games or so. That's my bold prediction. And I think Jared Curtis is going to have a really, really nice football season. I don't know if that's bold, but Jay, you're up next.
My boldest prediction in conference is in general is that Mississippi State's gonna be better than people think this year. Mm-hmm. Bringing back Zach Arnett, who 2 years ago was the head coach and defensive coordinator, it feels kind of like an Elko situation, just not as extreme. He's coming back 2 years later. Some of those players are still around on the defensive side of the ball that he recruited and was coaching, and so all Lebby ever needed is a defense. That was the biggest challenge he had last year. Some games he should have won if he played defense. Well, Arnett's really good at that. And I think that he can call some of the players he currently has and some of the transfers they bring in and be just decent enough to make sure that they're at least bowl eligible. If not, pull a couple of upsets this season. I think that they can do it.
I don't know how bold this is, but I'll say Alabama versus Texas A&M, which happens literally midpoint of the season. Winner of the game is in, loser of the game is out. I think you see a lot of playoff projections that have A&M in, Alabama out, maybe a couple that have Alabama in and A&M out. But I think that's the decider, not just for Alabama, but for the Aggies. Alabama versus A&M, even though it's in mid-October, is a play-in game. Winner in, loser out.
My prediction is 2 offenses that really struggled last season are going to bounce back in a serious way. I think Missouri, with Austin Simmons, with an excellent offensive line, with Ahmad Hardy promising to come back at some point, hopefully maybe sooner than we think. Even when he's not here, Jamal Roberts and what looks like an excellent running game. I think this team's going to score some points. The Tigers have a whole bunch of new guys defensively. We'll see there. The other one is South Carolina. To me, an underachieving group, if there ever was one last season. Now you've got Kendall Briles in there, a new offensive coordinator. I think this is a big year for Lenora Sellers and the Gamecocks.
Yeah, one thing's interesting is I think with all the noise that's going to be said about Ole Miss and LSU and how everybody's focused on that game, I think the game of the season for Ole Miss is Ole Miss at Texas. That is the biggest game of the year for Ole Miss. And I do think Jonte Cook going back to Austin, he has a chance to put up an Elijah Moore type season from the slot position. The rumor is he hasn't lost a one-on-one this fall camp and is really locked in at this point. I'm pretty excited about that. And I agree on the South Carolina thing, by the way. Lenore Sellers was built in a lab for that offense.
I heard that Trinidad Chambliss might win the quarterback competition there at Ole Miss.
It's touch and go.
Yeah.
Georgia's going to have the best defense in the SEC, and in a 3-game stretch against Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Vanderbilt, they're not going to give up more than 21 points in those 3 games combined. The defense is woefully underappreciated by the national media. People are saying there's a good floor to them, but they don't realize how good this linebacker room is and how much improved Elijah Griffin's going to be from year 1 to year 2. The trenches are full effect for Georgia. We're getting back to what it was in 21 and 22. Elite defense, run the ball, take shots downfield. That's Georgia's blueprint. Those 3 games are going to lead Georgia to one of the best defenses in the entire nation.
The Florida Gators are going to be either Ole Miss or Oklahoma this year. And I don't think Florida's going to be an amazing team, but I think they're going to win one of those games every year. It seems Florida just wins a game where everyone goes into it going, they're not going to win. It's at home. And they pull it off. You could do it under Billy Napier. I'm going to believe that you could do it under John Summerall when you have like actual competent coaching now. I think that's an important part of it. So Ole Miss, Oklahoma, one of you guys, you're on the clock.
Hey, blue lids at Florida. I like them. It's good luck.
I mean, if they lose, I hate them. That's my rule.
For Tennessee,
Yeah,
I did a show on this a couple of days ago. Hot take, bold take, whatever you want to call it. Pick your favorite, right? I got 3 of them, okay? Not saying they're all 3 going to hit, but 3 that I like. Tennessee enters the bye week, which is Halloween weekend, the last Saturday in October 31st, with a 7-1 record. That only loss coming to Texas at home September 26th. So in the college football playoff conversation, entering the month of November with 2 really tough games left on that schedule there. Braylon Staley leads the SEC in receptions. He finished 2nd last year with 68. Okay, those are the only 2 I have. So whichever one you guys like the best, those are my bold predictions. As far as conference, I'm on the South Carolina train as well. I don't know, can they be that 9-3 team that's being talked about that just misses out? I don't think it's a playoff team, but I do think Kendall Browse is going to get Lenore Sellers there. I do like that defensive line once they get healthy. They brought in a lot on the offensive line as well. They've got weapons. I'm on the South Carolina train. I want to say Kentucky's going to knock off a top 10 team, but there's just not many on that schedule. I don't think it's going to be Oklahoma. Kentucky's not going to be good, but Kentucky's going to get somebody this year at some point because I think that offense is going to score points. So that was a lot of that.
Spread on Kentucky games I will be watching very closely.
Oh yeah. I think they'll score points. I do.
Yes.
Yeah. So Eric, real quick, do you think you'll be able to checkerboard Vanderbilt Stadium, Dudley Field this year?
First Bank Stadium. Stadium.
It'll be. I mean, again, Corey's my dude. It'll be a home game as it always is in Nashville for Tennessee.
More parity, fewer blowouts.
Never.
More parity across the league. More parity, fewer blowouts. SEC Saturdays will look a whole lot like NFL Sundays.
Yep.
A lot of games decided in the fourth quarter. The worst teams in the league aren't too far behind the best teams in the league. And whoever gets it done in the fourth quarter will still be standing at the end. And the Big Ten and the people across the country will be going, boy, the SEC took another step back. No, I don't think it's that way at all. I think it's just this is the league of parity. Everybody's good. No other league has that.
Yeah.
Everybody in the league is spending $20 million at least on their roster.
Ask any SEC team. Would they like to play Purdue and Rutgers and Wisconsin and all those teams up there in the bottom of the Big Ten? We'll trade off. Real quick, because I do want to mention some of the teams that aren't represented here. Zach Blackerby couldn't join us, so anybody got a bold prediction on Auburn? I think Auburn's way better this year. What say you guys?
I think this might be the year when they're not celebrating a Birmingham Bowl runner-up. So I think that's good for the Tigers.
Yeah,
Just wanted to make sure I knew what year it was. It's not 2020 or 2021 or 2022 or 2020. This is what we do every year, people. What are we doing? Auburn's Auburn. They're trash. No.
Seconded.
I think they have a 6-6, 7-5 year, which doesn't sound great, but it's better than what's been going on there.
I was going to say, I feel like that's such a not bold prediction to say that they're going to be better.
I don't think that's a bold. That is a very fair point. I think Golish bringing his quarterback with him and having experience coaching in the SEC because he's coming from Tennessee, and then keeping DJ Durkin, who did a really good job on the defensive side for Auburn. The problem was their offense, and Hugh Freeze just being an idiot, a complete idiot, with the way that he ran things, having 4 different coaches call plays on each down, a new coach per down. Stupid.
They look like it.
I digress.
we all knew that
Was that real life?
He kept saying
that
something
real
about it
life?
being real.
Yeah, there was a tweet where he said it.
Yes, he said it in a press conference. Insane. I digress. Bynum Brown, I think he will end up bold. This is a bold one. I think he'll end up within the top 8 quarterbacks in the conference by the end of the season. I think he'll put up really good numbers.
Say top 5.
No, top 8. I refuse to go
That's
top
not
5.
bold.
Say top
It's bold
3,
enough.
you coward.
Say he's going to be the best, Jay. Come on.
I refuse. I'm not going to put myself in that situation. But with that point, they may win 8 games this season.
All right, let's go real quick. I'll just throw out of school. Somebody grab them. Arkansas. Hot take. Anybody? Bold prediction?
Lock of the century. Put your mortgage on the under.
Yeah, they're going to be bad, but it might not be bad in the future. I don't know. Silverfield at least was able to get some dudes down in Memphis. It ain't happening this year. Give him at least a couple years before we run him out of town. That's all.
They had
I'll
a
say.
lot of one-score games, losses last year, so they were in games.
Who's throwing the ball?
That's in 2026 for the
Yeah,
Razorbacks.
but last year they had Taylor Green and Bobby.
Yeah, that was my point. Who's throwing the ball? Because Taylor Green was a show by himself.
0-8, but better. 0-8, but better.
Wow. That's not much better.
A competitive 0-8.
I wish John Neighbors was here.
Kentucky. Anybody want to give me a bold prediction on that? I guess we kind of did them, right?
Yeah, they're going to get somebody. I don't know who it is, but they're going to get somebody.
Dangerous.
Bama.
Kentucky
week
in a
2.
couple of years will be a top 4 team in the SEC in a couple of years. I believe Stein is a dang good coach. He's going to have offense. It's going to be ridiculous.
My cousin.
If you were the Kentucky basketball coach right now, you should be very nervous because they're investing in football, and whenever that happens, that's not good for basketball's coach.
Kentucky can be terrifying by week 9. I think once they start gelling, week 9 they're going to be horrifying at the end of the season. They're going to be end of season problem last year.
It's going to take them losing to Vanderbilt to be to kind of gel, but that's going to happen.
If they lose Kenny Minchie, though, it's over. The season.
Yes.
I'm glad you mentioned Kenny Minchie because I'm just not bought in at all. I just like the dude that has quarterback competitions and loses them. Like I don't know. I think he's going to be productive because of Will Stein, but productive doesn't necessarily mean good outright.
I'm bought in on the coach, and I know they're all new, but I'm bought in on that offensive line. I think they'll run it. I think they'll score points. And like you said, I'm a believer in Will Stein. I'm with you. Like Kenny mentioned, I'm not all the way there yet, but they're going to make it work, in my opinion.
Wait, could we fit 9 this whole time? We could have had everybody on.
Yeah,
we could have.
Jay just
The new dynamic way, it actually
I just want to make sure
everybody in.
I'm hearing everybody correctly. The most talented team in the SEC, the one with the high ceiling in Sarkisian and Arch Manning, the ones that we said this exact same thing last year, has to go to Tennessee, has to play Oklahoma, has Ole Miss on the schedule, has to go to LSU, and has A&M at A&M at the end of the season. Oh, and they play Ohio State. We don't think they lose 2 or 3 of those games. Are we?
And their left tackle hurt.
The favor the SEC had to do for Texas in preparation for this was they gave them 3 straight SEC games at home. They're the only team on the schedule that gets that. So that's kind of a thing to try to help. Like, hey,
against Florida and Mississippi State and Ole Miss in the middle of it, they're big. My bold take is Texas loses 3 games, and they're the one that we're talking about trying to get into the playoff. Like they're losing. I think they'll beat Ohio State, but I think the rest of the schedule.
Think they beat Ohio State.
With their schedule 9-3, they should be in.
They should.
Can Tennessee pull it off?
And I agree, Jimmy. I think you're exactly right. That's why I have 5 SEC teams because a 9-3 Texas should be in the playoff. I can't stand Texas, but that team should be in the playoff at 9-3.
Yeah.
All right, hey, real quick.
If they lose to Ohio State and Oklahoma, that could be an A-bomb in Austin.
Real quick, John Neighbors couldn't be here. Matt Moscota couldn't be here. Chris Marler. We offered. None of them could be here. Brad Kellner could not be here. He's on an Alaskan cruise. but he sent us his bold prediction, so let's see it.
DK here with Locked On Longhorns. My bold prediction for the Texas Longhorns in 2026. I think Arch Manning will break Colt McCoy's single-season passing yards record. McCoy threw for 3,859 yards back in 2008. I think Arch Manning breaks that record easily. I expect the Longhorns to be playing a few postseason games, which will definitely help him get there. But it won't be Cam Coleman leading Texas in receiving. I think Ryan Wingo will lead the Longhorns in receiving yards in 2026.
How about that from an Alaskan cruise? Shout out Brad Kellner.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, Wi-Fi out there?
I wonder how long that took to send.
I know. No, what was the upload on that bad boy?
He has better Wi-Fi than you.
I know that whole time I was gone, I was uploading that short video. So
he had to give that to somebody who was in the Iditarod and
It's like
get
a
that
four-
thing there for sure.
Yeah, it was like a 4-day process to get that down
absolutely.
onto the show. So,
all right, real
good
quick,
job.
guys. 4 more teams. Just want to anybody grab them, whoever you want. Mississippi State. Give me a bold prediction.
They're getting somebody. They're absolutely getting somebody.
They're winning a road game. They're gonna beat 2 out of these 5. They're gonna beat out of Minnesota, South Carolina, LSU, Texas, and Ole Miss. 2 of those 5 are gonna lose to them.
South Carolina's one of them.
Minnesota's the other.
And
LSU?
Minnesota is a must-win for Mississippi State and Jeff Levy.
Period.
All the non-cons are must-wins for the SEC teams. South Carolina. I know we kind of mentioned them, but bold take for them.
Shane Beamer
will
will
have a
be
new
out of a
coach by the
job
end of
by
the season.
week 9. Did we just say the same thing, Brandon?
Yep. Yes, we did.
Yes. I love it.
Yes, we did.
We just become best friends.
No,
we
did
found
not.
out. We
No,
found
we
out
did
this
not.
week.
They've been best friends for a long time.
Jakari's Peak and Dylan Stewart not going to be ready for the start of the season. So
Yeah,
Good,
not
not
a
good
good
enough.
thing.
Not
South
great.
Carolina, good, but not good enough.
LSU bold take anyone?
Playoffs for me. I'm a believer in Lane.
Lane
They missed the
Kiffin has
playoffs.
never had a winning season as a first-year head coach for a team in the SEC.
I say they go
Just saying.
9-3. I say they go 9-3, but don't get in the playoff.
So yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
I think they're good. I think they're out though.
But if they're 9-3, they probably have a bunch of top 25 wins. So their resume will be better than
We already established
Indiana.
Texas is
But we're
9-3
talking
getting
about-
in, Gordy. All right.
Yeah, all they do is count losses on the committee. That's all they do. If they count it like strength of schedule and everything else, Vanderbilt would have made the playoffs last year.
But given what happened last year, wouldn't this committee go, we need Lane Kiffin in, we need these personalities in over some crappy team from the ACC?
No,
Well-
because it's being run by people from the Big 12 and the Big 10 and the ACC, and they want as little SEC representation as possible.
And there could easily be 3 or 4 9-3 teams in the SEC as well. So you could be comparing SEC to SEC. Then the Kiffin advantage is less
Yeah,
so.
And like Steven just said, like it doesn't matter if you lose; it matters when you lose. And they play Texas in November. That's gonna be a late loss.
They're going to
Yeah, I
go.
think
They're going to
part of
start
it
the
is-
season 8-0, and then they're going to come up with 3 losses in the last 4 games.
If they have, 3 losses and they're all top 25, right now they have 5 top 25 teams on their schedule. If you go 9-3, you're not winning a bunch of top 25 games. You're going 2-3 in them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Texas has how many top 25? I think 7 on their schedule right now. But again, teams shift as it goes along. Like Mizzou
Yeah,
may
of
not be a
course.
top 25 team by the time they get there. So last team, guys, A&M. Give me a bold prediction for them.
They missed the playoff.
I think that the most likely AP top 10 team to Penn
The
State.
unranked.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think they're the one that ends up being unranked at the end of the season.
Yeah,
and it's going to be like
when
an
we did the
upset that
squad
makes no
show.
sense. Citadel knocks them off.
Is it strange to say something like Marcel Reed is the reason they make the playoffs, or Marcel Reed is the reason they don't make the playoff?
No, I get
That's
it.
pretty
Very
consistent.
I
accurate,
understand
yeah.
that.
That's
That's
great.
what we all think.
All right, guys. Last thing before we wrap up here, it's our prediction show. So, Corey, start us off. Give us your national champion.
My national champion. Okay. I'm going to go with the Georgia Bulldogs. They're going to get it done. SEC.
Wow.
Natty. Let's get it.
I like it.
About time. Jimmy?
Oh, gosh. I'm going to infuriate everyone here like you are all my wives. Oregon.
Plural?
Honey,
The Ohio
what was
State
that?
University. I hate to say it. Missouri beat them in the Cotton
Babe,
Bowl. I
we
don't know
did
what
not
to tell you, but
discuss
I'm going
this.
Ohio State.
Yeah,
John
sorry,
Miller?
Jimmy. I didn't realize you were with BYU now all of a sudden.
John Miller went Ohio State.
Ohio State, yep.
Steven?
Homer, let's do it.
Oh, no.
Let's go all the
Oh,
way.
good
Let's
Lord.
go all the way.
Here
Let's
we
go all the way. Seriously.
Jay, you better do it now.
So Georgia loses to. I guess since I picked Texas to win the SEC championship, but I'm not going to have them win the national. I'm going to have Georgia come back. They lose that game, then come back. They win the whole thing.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
John Miller called me out, so I got to go and say Oklahoma now.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Wow. Okay.
I gotta be a homer.
People. That's the
I'm a
lesson of this
tear.
episode.
Homer
John, peer
is
pressure.
life.
Y'all just don't know. He has a gun behind me right now. He told me if I didn't do it, he's gonna blow my.
It's
Yeah.
absolutely accurate.
Brandon?
Darn it.
Ohio State. I'm not doing the Georgia friendliness again. I'm going Ohio State for this one. I gave them enough grace here. From this moment on, it's FU. Sorry.
You know what? I respect that in totality. I'm going to do the same after I make this statement. The cocktail party is going to be a one-score game in the fourth quarter, and it's going to come down to a field goal kick. I hate that game so much this year. Florida's a freaking snake. I can't stand them. It's going to be a tough game. Now it begins. I hate your guts as well. Okay, it's going to be Georgia. Ohio State has no shot. No number one team's going to go wire to wire. And I would like to say that Kirby Smart ends Ole Miss's season, but they'll be unranked when Ole Miss plays Georgia this year.
Let me give you guys this stat real quick. Of the last 21 years, the team who started preseason AP number one has only went on to win the national championship once. That was 2017 Alabama. 15 of those times, the majority of the time, it was a team that was ranked 2, 3, 4, or 5. We got Georgia and Texas there. We got Oregon and Notre Dame there. One of those four is going to win the national championship. As much as I want to go with Texas, I'm rolling with the Georgia Bulldogs. Kirby gets his third.
I was going to say, by that logic, Gordy, I mean, only one of those teams has any type of stones. So, sure.
I'm going
I guess
Georgia
you can
too.
make that argument.
We have 3 Georgias.
John put the
That's
gum
pretty
up.
strong.
Nobody went Notre Dame?
Indiana's going to be in it again, too, I think. I'll
No,
just throw that
I think
out there,
Notre
too.
Dame actually lose one of those cupcake games again, like they did Northern Illinois, and it actually knocks them out of the playoffs. They go 9-3 because of it.
They should
Nah,
lose
you
one
need
game. They should
everybody.
be automatically booted from the playoff.
They get into the top 12, they have an automatic bid. They're the only automatic bid out there.
If Indiana plays for a national championship again this year, I will do the squad show that week dressed as a clown because there's no way.
There's
Kurt
no
Signetti,
way. Why?
you were
I do
lightning
every
in
show dressed like that.
That's
so.
absurd. There's no way.
lightning in a bottle, John. All their pros. I just saw Fernando Mendoza at practice the other day. They're all in the NFL.
It's not
I
going
don't
to
know,
happen.
man. That
but-
offensive and defensive line, those receivers still look pretty good to me. Josh Hoover, I think, is a pretty good fit. I'm not saying he's
I do not
Mendoza.
like Josh Hoover.
Kirk Signetti's still there. I think as long as he's there, they're a contender.
And elite coordinators both back.
There you
How
go.
many of their 22 starters were 4-star or 5-star prospects out of high school? About 0.
Not many.
Even now, to
Right.
say nothing of last year, even now,
I don't care.
they're a crazy outlier in that way.
They are.
Well, they got them in their prime, so that's
Yeah,
good.
29
Yeah.
years old.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's a
3
basketball school. Basketball
Yeah.
school.
Not anymore.
By,
Not
by the way,
anymore.
you guys,
Have you seen their basketball lately? It hasn't been so hot.
No, it
Yeah.
has not.
if my prediction that I made, my homer just joking or doing all that comes true, everybody, we need to sell tickets for the squad show because I'm going to make a fool out of myself that night.
Well,
Yeah.
you
So
do.
get ready.
Some would argue you do it every week,
I was
Stephen.
going to say, what's the
Hey.
difference in
Hey, that's
tonight
what
and
I'm
that
here
night?
for, but not the Ole Miss fans, and that's what matters.
Yeah.
All right, Jets, we are ready to kick off the season. Appreciate you guys for joining us. Appreciate you guys for watching and listening and subscribing. Remember to follow and subscribe to your favorite SEC school. We will be covering your favorite team each and every day throughout the season. Don't forget, I'll have you covered on the entire conference every day with Locked On SEC. We are a part of the Locked On Podcast Network covering your team every day. Have a great week, everybody. Football is almost here.
Yay.
So close.
Yeah.